What's going on, everybody? This Afro Think Tank. I want to tell FBA this, just to clarify a few things that they say that are simply not true, okay? Because FBA like to take credit for shit they ain't got nothing to do with, all right? Because every time an African American does something, here comes FBA with their little club. Yeah, we did it. They're like, no, motherfucker. African Americans did that, not you, okay? But here's some deeper information for you. For 249 years, okay, from the first African that landed in America, from the first African until the 14th Amendment, all the accomplishments and all the heroes of my ancestors were African. So everything from the first African-American, the first African to land in what we now call the Americas, all the way up to the 14th Amendment, every accomplishment, every rebellion, every invention was invented by an African, by Igbo, by Yoruba, by a Khan, by a Dahomey, specifically, amongst many other African tribes. Because I always ask, when did an African stop being African? Huh? When did an African stop being African? We never stopped being African, okay? And for the record, and literally, all the compliments for 249 years came from just Africans. Every single thing that ever happened, Africans can take complete and total credit for it. Everything. Everything. I just want to let you know that. Now, everything after that was accomplished by Africans who gained citizenship from the white man, because we still African. So the rest of the accomplishments that happened after the 249 years of our existence in what we call North America was done by identifiable Africans. And after that, everything else was done by Africans who gained American citizenship. I just wanted to throw that out there for the record. That's real history, not that pseudo shit y'all be talking about. Peace.
249 years before citizenship, the untold legacy of Africans in America. Before there was a United States of America, before the Constitution, before the stars and stripes ever flew over the land, African people were already here. Enslaved, yes. Oppressed, absolutely. But also building, fighting, creating, leading. For 249 years, from 1619 to 1868, Africans lived, labored, rebelled, and innovated on American soil without ever being considered citizens. This is the story of the undeniable accomplishments, the unbreakable resistance, and the uncredited genius of Africans in America before citizenship. Part 1, 249 years without citizenship. In 1619, the first documented group of Africans arrived in Virginia. By 1868, the 14th Amendment finally made them legal citizens. That's 249 years, longer than the United States has even existed as a nation. During this period, African people were enslaved laborers, free black artisans, revolutionary soldiers, underground railroad conductors, unrecognized inventors, and freedom fighters. Part 2, rebellion was constant. African resistance to slavery. African resistance to slavery was not the exception, it was the rule. From the earliest colonial days to the Civil War, Africans fought back constantly. Notable slave rebellions and uprisings. 1. 1663, Gloucester County Conspiracy Va. The first known planned slave uprising in English North America. 2. 1712, New York Slave Revolt. 23 enslaved Africans attacked their captors. In retaliation, 70 were arrested and 21 executed. 3. 1739, the Stono Rebellion SC. Led by an African named Jimmy, over 60 enslaved rebels killed colonists and marched for freedom. It was the largest rebellion in colonial history. 4. 1800, Gabriel Prosser's Rebellion Va. A literate blacksmith planned a massive revolt in Richmond. Betrayed before it began, he was hanged with 25 others. 1811, German Coast Uprising, LA. Over 500 enslaved men marched toward New Orleans, killing slaveholders and burning plantations. It was the largest slave revolt in U.S. history. 6. 1822, Denmark Vesey's Plot SC. A free black man organized a rebellion involving thousands. It was discovered and crushed before it began. 7. 1831, Nat Turner's Rebellion Va. A preacher and mystic, Nat led a revolt that killed over 50 whites. His name remains a symbol of black resistance. And these are just the major ones. Historians have documented over 250 acts of armed rebellion, conspiracies, and revolts by Africans in America before 1868. Part 3. African Innovation, Stolen Genius. Although enslaved Africans were legally considered property, they produced inventions, tools, and innovations that powered America's growth. Early black inventors and their contributions. 1. Benjamin Banneker, mathematician and astronomer 1700s, built the first working wooden clock in America. Published detailed almanacs, helped survey land for Washington, D.C. 2. Thomas Jennings, first African American with a U.S. patent 1821, invented dry cleaning, dry scouring, used profits to fund abolitionist efforts. 3. Henry Blair, patent holder for seed planting devices 1834-1836, invented the seed planter and cotton planter. Despite being illiterate, his mechanical skill was unmatched. 4. Norbert Rillieux, sugar refining genius 1846, invented the vacuum pan evaporator, revolutionized sugar manufacturing globally. 5. Judy W. Reed, one of the first black women to file for a patent, created a dough kneader and roller 1860s. Countless enslaved black artisans, blacksmiths, carpenters, engineers contributed to the architecture, agriculture, and industrial infrastructure of early America. But because they were enslaved, many of their inventions were legally owned by their enslavers and not recorded under their names. Part 4. Accomplishments before citizenship. Despite facing chattel slavery, laws that banned literacy, and total exclusion from political power, Africans 1. Built America's foundation. Enslaved people built the White House, U.S. Capitol, and much of Washington, D.C., laid railroads, constructed bridges, cleared forests, and laid the groundwork for America's wealth. 2. Produced revolutionary thinkers. Phyllis Wheatley, first black poet published in the U.S. 1773. Frederick Douglass escaped slavery, became one of the greatest orators and abolitionists in American history. Sojourner Truth, born into slavery, became a national voice for abolition and women's rights. 3. Led movements of resistance and liberation. Organized the Underground Railroad, led military service in the Revolutionary War, War of 1812, and Civil War. Laid the intellectual groundwork for Pan-Africanism, black nationalism, and civil rights before those movements were even named. 4. Created enduring cultural contributions. Spirituals, drumming traditions, agricultural knowledge, herbal medicine, storytelling, Gullah Geechee culture, and African retentions that survived slavery's assault. Part 5. Legacy of the 249 years. Africans in America were never just victims of slavery. They were scientists, rebels, prophets, artists, builders, and visionaries. In those 249 years without citizenship, they fought over 250 rebellions, invented and revolutionized industries, preserved African culture under genocide, built the wealth and infrastructure of the United States, and they did all this without ever being recognized as human beings under the law. Final word. The story of African people in America did not begin with the 14th Amendment. Citizenship was not a gift. It was a delayed acknowledgement of what Africans had already earned through blood, brilliance, and bravery. So when we talk about American greatness, we must tell the truth. Africans were America's first builders, first defenders, and first revolutionaries. And their contributions began long before they were ever called Americans. This has been Afro Think Tank. Like, share, and pass on this knowledge. Because when we learn something, we must teach something.
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system
in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.